Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Recent stats point to a dramatic increase of crime, as well as the severity of crime in the last 2 years. Naturally, criminal prosecutions rose accordingly during the same time period. Yet, in 2015 and 16, this government cut the Alberta Crown Prosecutor's budget by $5 million and left 35 positions unfilled. Then the Jordan decision caught Alberta's justice system in a vice. So, to the minister, why did you reduce the Crown's budget in each of your first 2 years in office?
Good question.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As the member alluded to, backlogs in our court system had built up over a long time, and this government, when it took office, came into a fiscal situation that was very tight, which is why we were ensuring that we found the necessary efficiencies in every department. Obviously, Mr. Speaker, just as the member has alluded to, the Jordan decision had a massive change in direction in terms of the court system, and so we have responded accordingly. Mr. Speaker, we will continue to respond to the facts on the ground, because that's what good governance looks like.
First supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that the Justice Minister was just asked a direct question about cutting the Crown Prosecution Service during the NDP's first 2 years, and given that the cuts resulted in, quote, exercising restraint in filling vacancies, unquote, and given that those vacancies involved 35 prosecutor positions, and yet she points to the former government for, quote, intense backlog, unquote, Minister, will you not accept responsibility for the role you played in creating the backlog?
Good question.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And the member, of course, is absolutely right. We did have the file for 2 years. They had it for 44, but I'm sure those things are perfectly comparable. Mr. Speaker, when the situation changed, when the Jordan decision came down, we knew we had to do things differently, and that is, Mr. Speaker, why we injected resources, unlike the members over there who proposed 10% cuts to that same department.
Second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that during those same 2 years, the Justice Minister increased funding to legal aid by more than 26%, and given that this enhanced funding for legal aid clearly showed the Minister knew the system was dealing with higher caseloads, and given that the Minister still went on to cut the prosecutor's budget 2 years running, Minister, so what was your plan here? Were you simply expecting Crown prosecutors to do more with less?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And of course, the increases to funding to legal aid, Mr. Speaker, were as a result of decades of underfunding by the previous government. Because, Mr. Speaker, apparently they don't understand that all elements of the system need to work together in order to have a functioning justice system, Mr. Speaker. The rights of vulnerable individuals in Alberta are things that need protected, as are the rights of all Albertans, Mr. Speaker, and we will continue to stand up for them.